Hello, myself Sunil R Nair, and here basically we are discussing about that topic basically that says that why basically that particular person's blood cells was basically removed from the blood group. So in that topic basically we have discussed lots of things. In this basically we discuss human resource. In this basically we discuss political people. In this basically we have discussed lots of things. Basically in this basically we have discussed the Bollywood group also. Basically in this way basically we have discussed then each and every process also basically how many types of process basically are there in the then basically we discussed how many types of tasks are basically there. Like this basically each and everything basically we discussed. Like this basically now basically we are going to discuss about the one topic that is basically the future basically. One person basically written basically is one. I will take one example. Basically. One person told that I want to become the richest person in the world basically. Assume that that is person is basically from India. So he told that basically I want to become the richest person in the world basically. Then basically everybody basically jumped with that particular person. Bollywood group, then basically the businessmen, then basically the each and every retail public, each and every the share markets, each and every the business group basically retail business, corporate business, each and every people basically do that. Yes, basically you will become the richest person. You will become the richest person. Like this basically this is basically one story, this is basically one part. Then the another part is basically one person basically told that basically I am basically going to write the future basically. Future means basically whatever things are going to exist in the future. That means this many people will be going to exist, this blood group is not going to exist, this particular person basically is not going to exist, this blood group is not going to exist, that particular blood group is not going to exist, that particular blood cells is not going to exist. That means blood cells equal to cities. That city is not going to exist, that city basically is not going to exist, that particular area basically is going to create it as a new. Like this basically each and everything basically decide. Blood cells is not going to exist means city is not going to exist, the area is not going to exist. And blood cells basically new creation means the city basically might get create new creation, or basically it might possible that the area basically might be created newly, and basically it might possible that basically it gets new update also basically of the thing basically. Like this basically he designed the each and everything basically, and he told that basically we have designed the future and this is the future basically. So he told that basically okay basically like this basically he written the future. Like this by writing basically nothing basically happens, but he was a very good he was basically the very powerful writer basically. He was basically the very powerful writer. So he told that basically okay, that's fine basically, this is fine basically, and we are basically going to implement this. And this basically they passed it to the nuclear power company and the power company, and they basically told that okay basically we will do one thing, we will design this. So according to that basically he told that basically this blood cells is not going to exist, this person is not going to exist, this type of blood group only basically is not going to exist. For according to basically he, the nuclear power company told that basically okay basically we will first basically we will have to set the brain set of the each and every people, that this person basically is not supposed to exist. For that basically the brain set has to be done. This person basically is supposed to be finished, his generation is not supposed to happen. He basically showed the his blood is basically supposed to swell for that. For that basically the human resource people required the some report also. For that basically we will do one thing, we will do one thing, we will give him HIV AIDS, and basically his future basically has to be finished. For that basically we will do one thing, we will do give him nasbandi. That is basically his future is going to finish. Like this basically we will do the advertising also basically, that his nasbandi and his HIV AIDS basically was done for this particular reason. For that basically we will create few picture also, few movies is also basically we are going to create. And like this basically we are going to do the advertising in each and every house basically. That also we are going to do in the on the base of the certain movies. Just see basically that movie basically created, that is basically from that person. This is the basically the real person basically on the base of this movie is created. So you can see that person, yeah, that he is basically his Nasbandi and HIV AIDS basically we have given. Like this basically we will spread the story. So like this basically two stories basically come. One story is one person basically have to become rich person in the world basically of the, he is basically from India. And then another person is basically one person's Nasbandi has happened and basically got HIV/AIDS. Like this, his future basically was finished. His future generation basically was finished by the writer. Like this, basically, this is two story. Right now, basically the another story. Another story basically says that we are going to create some digital world. Digital world is basically that means, for example, this is the digital world. The digital world means he told that basically each and every basically money basically we are going to connect to his body parts. Each and every money basically we are going to connect to the body parts. Body parts means he was basically not able to get what actually the digital is. Then he told that basically if you are purchasing one shirt, or basically if you are purchasing one t-shirt, then basically you have purchased that, you have done the payment through payment gateway. Like this basically you have done, so that information basically the company have. And one basically the set of software companies also basically have, that software company says that basically we have the information of that particular person. So like this basically data science company group says that basically yeah, basically we have the information. If you want the information, then please let me know. Then basically he told that basically I want the information of this particular person, complete information. What he is eating, what he is drinking, what he is thinking, what he is doing basically when he is doing fucking, when he is basically doing the fucking part basically. Like this basically each and everything basically, each and every activities basically, when he is in romantic mood, when basically he is in angry mood, when he is basically in this mood, when he is each and every mood basically, whatever basically created by the nuclear power company. Like this basically he told that basically okay, we will give each and every information to you. So like this basically he told that basically like this basically the digital world basically we want to create. Like this basically we want to create the digital world. Then basically he told that this is basically digital world. Then basically he told yes, basically this is the digital world basically. Then he told that basically you told that body access basically part basically. For example, his eye has to be damaged, or basically basically we want to damage his head. Basically he has done some mistake. So basically here basically the legal groups of business cyber industry also basically comes into the picture. And basically they said basically see that person basically has done some bad activity, and basically they display literally video also basically, that see basically this is the video. Then basically the cyber group approve that video, and then basically say that okay, okay, basically you can have damage his head. So like this basically the damage had also basically happened. Like this basically this is the third story, that is the digital world. This is the third story, that is the digital world. So basically now the thing is basically one story basically is of the rich person. Then another story is basically the uh, of that particular person basically generation has to finish. So basically they have given HIV/AIDS and Nasbandi. Then the third basically is the story basically that says that what is digital world basically. What is a digital world? What is basically the digital world? So like this basically he told that digital world is this. So like this basically till now basically we discussed the three story. Like this basically we discussed the three story. So one person told us basically why you are telling this basically. We will let you know basically what actually why I am telling the story basically. Then he told that basically this is the story basically why the digital world basically is created. Like this basically digital world is created, for that basically they have done the advertising also. They basically do the advertising also, that why basically we are creating digital world, why basically we are creating that world, why basically we have ended his generation, why basically we have given in him HIV/AIDS, why basically we have given him Nasbandi, why basically we finished his generation. Like this basically literally they do the advertising. Advertising means view part basically, that basically is basically done by the Bollywood group. Like this Bollywood group also basically got lots of money. And then basically they told that basically we want to create some big lesson basically. Then basically we can use basically many people basically. We can use basically many people. Like this digital world basically we can use, while like basically the person basically we had damaged the head. For that basically the digital world basically we have created. Like this basically we can do anything basically. Like this basically the digital world story is there. And the fourth story basically says that fourth story basically says that um, we are going to access each and every body parts of that particular person. For example, one person is speaking, and then basically he is not supposed to speak. For that, basically we have to access his mouth. For that, basically we have created one SMS, digital SMS. Basically, we will pass that SMS inside the phone, and basically then basically we will say that see basically now he can speak. As basically is supposed to speak. No, basically, how basically you have done? We have done that basically. We have achieved the his body parts basically. That like this basically what actually this is. That means basically he basically want to say that we have created each and every cities basically, which is going to access each and every body parts. Then basically he told that why basically you have created like this. Just explain me in detail basically. He told that basically, for example, if you want to access his head, then basically we have created this three city. If you want to access his nose, then basically we have created this four city. If you want to access his hand, then basically we have created four cities. If you want to access his leg, we have created this five city. If you want to access his private part, for that basically we have created 10 city. For if you want to access his eye, for this basically we have created 11 city. If you want to access his stomach, then basically we have created 20, 12 city. If you want to access his backside, then basically we have created 20 city. If you want to access his finger, then basically we have created 15 city. So like this basically he explained the entire design of each and every city basically. Then he told that basically these all are the body parts. Then he told that basically you have created each and every blood groups also basically. Then he told yes basically we have 22 blood groups. According to that basically we have designed. Then he told that yeah basically that great thing basically you have done. You have basically done great thing. But then basically he told that basically for that basically you have created software also. Yes, basically we have created the digital software also basically. We have created that also basically we have approved. We have taken the approval from the government also basically. We have taken from the approval from the government also basically. That's very strange basically. Because people says that nowadays basically to give punishment that is basically very difficult basically. It might possible that that particular person might be connected with many people basically. So we basically give the punishment digitally. For example, we want to break his head basically. Then basically we can do digitally. For that, basically Harvard, Oxford, basically groups are expert in this. Basically. Then they told that basically they charge. Yeah, basically we basically literally give them the money basically. The government basically literally give them the money basically. High Court, Supreme Courts gives them the money basically. Then they told that basically, are you sure basically this type of activity is ongoing? Basically they are basically sending the reports. I don't know what the basically things as basically that, but this all basically the government part basically. For example, one person basically is not getting job, then basically one human resource company told that basically why he's not getting job, because he's basically his resume and each and everything basically is blocked by the cyber industry basically. Cyber industry, that means in Gaza and basically Israel basically cyber industry was there. Then in Israel, sorry, in Gaza, basically the cyber industry was there. Yes, basically there, basically police was there, cyber industry was there, big software company was there. Then what happened? Then he basically told that basically how many city basically you have created for the head damage basically. Then he told that basically yeah basically this many city basically we have created for the head damage. Then he told that basically how many city you have created for the eye damage. Then he told this much basically. Then he told that basically this all are basically negative part basically, right? Now basically think positive. That was basically the negative part. Now think positive. Then he told that basically in positive basically we have created 15 cities for head. repair. 15 cities for eye repair. 15 cities for nose repair. 15 cities for hand repair. 15 cities for leg repair. This was positive. 15 cities for head damage. 15 cities for nose damage. 15 cities for hand damage. 15 cities for leg damage. This was negative. So like this, basically the negative parts was created and positive part was created, and that also basically approved by the government. That also basically approved by the government. Basically, the government basically who the public basically who gives them the vote. That government basically, that government I am talking about basically. That government basically approves, and then basically they literally damage the head also. Basically, literally they damage the head also. For example, one person. Head is going to damage basically. For example, within 2 days basically or 3 days basically after one person's head is going to damage, for that basically they literally take the approval from the government, and government basically tells that yeah basically you can do that. Gaza was based the example basically. Like this basically government literally says that basically do that basically. And like this basically they says that basically for that basically nobody is supposed to drag this basically. Then for that basically we will do one thing. We will divide this each and every work to each and every cities. For example, Vadodara, anybody person's head has to be damaged. For that, basically, we can give this part to the Bangalore city. So from Bangalore city, basically, you can damage his head. And one basically person told that if you want to damage any stomach part, then basically you can do one thing. You can give this to Mumbai, basically. Then basically he told that basically if you want to damage any hand, basically then give this part to Surat. If you want to damage any leg, then basically give this part to Ahmedabad. If you want to damage any part, if you want to damage any finger part, then basically give this part to the Kolkata. So like this, basically each and every body damage part also basically was divided. So just you can just imagine basically the things basically was. So these all are basically negative parts. Positive parts is totally opposite. If you want to repair any hand, then basically give to this city. If you want to repair any eye, then basically give to this city. If you want to repair any head, then give to that city. If you want to repair, that means you want to say that each and every city basically that are created, that basically is to damage and repair basically body parts. Then basically he told that exactly you want to say like that only. Exactly, you are correct basically. So there basically we discussed just now basically four stories. That is one person basically want to become a richest person. Second story basically one person basically generation was ended through the HIV/AIDS and husband. Third was the digital world basically through accessing each and every body parts. Fourth was basically we discussed that each and every body parts basically can be accessed with the help of the city energy. So we here basically discussed four story. Next few story also basically we are going to discuss in next part, and what actually this story is going to connect to which all areas, which all ideas that basically we are going to